What's going on, guys? Milton from the Blessed Journey, and today I wanted to make a quick video on 5 benefits of having an online store or online business. And I just wanted to share with you guys that if you ever do or you do have a online business, what are the main benefits? Right now, there's always cons and pros and cons, but today I want to focus pretty much on the benefits so you guys can get an idea, and this is something that you might want to pursue. So let's get to it. The 5 benefits of having an online store or business. Number one is a low startup cost. Now, if you open up a retail store, there's a huge investment that you have to start out with, right? You have to get a lease for a place. You have to, if the place is not decorated, you have to decorate it to according to the company that whatever you're opening. You have to buy some inventory because the store can be, empty pretty much, and then you have to spend some money on advertising. So it's a lot of work, a humongous investment that you're not going to see a return on for a while, right? Including probably even years, depending on what you're opening up. And so it's a huge startup cost. Now, the benefit of having an online store, the startup cost is super low. And what that means is pretty much you're only spending right now is a domain, right, which is like $12 a year, and then somewhere where you're hosting your store, that could be Shopify, WooCommerce, or whatever you're thinking about doing. But the startup cost is very low, especially if you're doing drop shipping. If you're starting out with drop shipping, you're not holding on to any inventory, right? You're not holding on to the inventory, so pretty much you're testing some products out to the niche that you want to sell to, and you're not taking a humongous risk, right? So that's number one. The startup cost is pretty low. Number two, you can market nationally or globally. Now, what that means is when you have a retail store, is you can't really, you're depending on the foot traffic around that area, right? So if it snows, like right now, there's a humongous snowstorm in the Northeast, right? I imagine that a lot of schools, a lot of stores, a lot of malls are closed. Just imagine having your store closed around this time when, right after Black Friday, when most sales are up. It's gonna hurt your business. So if you're marketing nationally, which I do nationally, it doesn't matter where your customers are. It doesn't matter um, that your customers are ordering from anywhere from the U.S., right? Because you're shipping the products out. So you can also do globally. Now, I used to ship to Canada, then I stopped because of customs was getting a little bit complicated. But if you have shipping set up and you're still profitable, you can ship globally. Or you can work with other vendors that ship globally as well and for a low cost. And you can sell pretty much around the world. Now, obviously, you want to target countries that have that the GDP is a little bit higher than third world countries or people that maybe not have enough money to buy whatever product that you're selling. So obviously you have to think about that. But what I do is I market nationally and I target people pretty much only in the U.S. So it doesn't matter where my customers are at in the U.S. Doesn't matter what state they're in. It just matters that I ship the item to them. Number three, you can work from home. Now, this at the beginning, I think this is what drives people the most, right? And this is what drove me the most. That I hated to work for somebody else, and I hated to get up every single morning and go through traffic and come back. And I used to work maybe an hour away from where I live, and it wasn't that far. It was just the traffic was horrendous. Like the traffic was horrible, and one, it helped me to listen to podcasts and listen to different things on my way, but it also helped me to really think about what I wanted in life, right? And when you have a 9 to 5, it's really hard to do whatever you want to do on a daily basis. For example, when I started off working from home. I started off working from my apartment. Now we have a big warehouse, right? Because we make the shirts, we ship our items, we do a bunch of different things. But if we didn't have this warehouse, I would have been working from home. Like right, some days I do work from home. Like Thursdays I work from home. So that's a huge benefit of having an online store. You can work from home. Not only that, you can travel around the world. That's number four. You can travel around the world and still run your business. That's super important to me, right? And even though I'm not doing that right now, because I guess everybody's life is different. Right now, I want to be closer to my parents. I want to be here at where I'm at right now, where I'm located, right? And but I have that option, and that's what makes things pretty cool. Like I have that option to just go travel for a couple months and keep the business running just from my laptop. Right now, I have a system in place that took me years to develop in order to do that. But if it's just you and you have maybe some virtual assistants and you are drop shipping, you can definitely do that. And I know a lot of drop shippers that do that. They travel around the world and they can still manage their business from anywhere they're at, right? And the last benefit, um, great branding plus great quality of the product equals a long-term business. So whenever you start a business, I always want you guys to think long-term. That's super important for me because this is not like a hobby for me, right? This is an actual business. It's something that I want to create long-term and eventually use that money to invest in bigger things that I can build generational wealth and give to my kids and grandkids, right? So that's my main overall goal. I'm always thinking long term. I'm always thinking about my kids, grandkids. I don't have any grandkids yet, but and my daughter's only 2. But I'm always thinking about that, right? Because if you think about it, I don't know about you guys. Like my parents did their best to give me whatever I had, right? Which was a roof over my head and an opportunity to go to school. But they didn't build generational wealth in the sense of, giving me a head start, right? And I'm the first generation that has built a business in my family, and I want my kids to have a head start. I want my kids to have a trust, a trust fund, and for them to really understand business and for them to do whatever they desire, right? So my philosophy in life is do what makes you happy. Because in anything that makes you happy, you're able to make a business out of, right? So if my daughter wants to become a painter or whatever, an artist, that's fine. How can we make a business around that? How can we build a personal brand around that, right? Because in anything that you can do, and I am a firm believer of this, anything that makes you happy and anything that you can do, you can build a business around it. Okay, that's super important for you guys to know that because maybe sometimes people will put you down or sometimes people will make you feel like you're being selfish or something. Like no, like you can do something that you really like because when you're doing something that you really like, when your alarm rings in the morning, you're gonna want to get up, right? And that's a big test. If you this is a good test of where you're at in life. When your alarm rings in the morning, are you happy to get out of bed, or are you like, "Oh, I hate going into work," right? And for me, at this moment in life, I really love what I do. I love making videos like this. I love being on YouTube. I love just helping people. Like I get a lot of messages, just people that have gotten help from some of these videos, right? And that brings a lot of fulfillment to me. So again, these are the 5 benefits of having an online business. And if you ever think about opening an online store with your T-shirt, I'm gonna make more videos on that and how I made mine, but and how to do marketing also on Facebook. But hopefully this gets your gears turning and in your mind thinking and be like, okay, maybe there's something else out there for me, right? And maybe it's e-commerce, right? Maybe it's having an online store. So I hope you guys grab a little bit something from this video. I hope you guys have a blessed day, a blessed week, and a blessed journey. Peace out.